Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 206. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. I have coming to join me the most beautiful woman in the world, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan, but she is not here yet. She is on her way home from a church meeting. I have sitting across from me the Reverend Mr. Von Rawls.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. We have no audio again.
Are you kidding me?
They said it's too choppy, so nobody's listening to it.
That's even more bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I like your shirt.
Thank you. This is a High Cotton Brewery shirt from the High Cotton Brewery in Memphis.
Aha.
Easy for you to say.
Big Thirsty, Brian Swanson.
Can I just say, hello, by the way.
Hello.
I think it's awesome that at the beginning of every episode that you warn people that we are uncensored.
I think it's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
I don't know many podcasts that give a crap.
Yeah. I think we do a good job. I like being able to, I think we found a nice balance. I like being able to swear, and I like not swearing too much just because we have a microphone and we can swear.
You don't swear, we swear for you.
You think?
I think
we're all pretty good, pretty balanced out.
Yeah. I haven't sworn in a while.
Yeah?
You going to make it up tonight?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I think I swear enough for everybody.
Yeah, I think probably so.
So we had a big weekend. The world's greatest aid station.
We did have a huge weekend.
The Almira 50-miler
Yep.
and marathon.
Yep.
That was a big turnout. It must have been an extremely awesome event. Everybody that was a part of it certainly said that it was.
Well, it was awesome for me. I know that.
Tell me about it.
I didn't even go to the starting line. I just went to where the aid station was.
Just threw your stuff out.
Yeah.
Your campsite looked sad, by the way.
Did it?
It looked lonely.
It was perfect.
Really? I thought it was great.
I mean, I'm sure it was amazing. Your picture of the campsite looked sad and lonely.
I just take bad pictures. That's all.
your picture on Instagram of the person that said, "Are you one of the podcast hosts? I want to take a picture with you," and then you had your thumb over the lens.
Whatever happened, I don't know.
That was hilarious. How disappointing!
I missed that.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm gonna not look at Facebook anymore because everyone's complaining. So I'm not gonna.
I don't know what to do.
I've
spent the past 90 minutes
So,
running tests in here by myself,
what was I gonna say?
Singing Bop.
Yeah.
That's what I've been
But
doing with singing
Bop.
Bop.
You literally can't do anything else. So I don't know.
Thumbs up in front of the camera.
So I'm sitting there, and this family drives by on their bicycles. It's probably 5 people: mom and dad, 2 or 3 brothers and sisters. I don't know. I'm just making that up. And so the lady stops. So of course somebody says, "Hey, I want a shot of Fireball." And so surprisingly, this family stops their bicycles and goes, "Yeah,
the kids are
we
like,
do.
hell yeah,
we want." Even the kids. I mean, the kids were older kids, but so I said, so she comes over and she goes, while they're having their Fireball shots, the lady goes, "Is anybody in here affiliated with this podcast?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I am." And I said, and somebody said something, introduced, "This is Vaughn." And she said her name was Jody. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to get up and go take a picture with her." Because this never happens. Like, I never meet anybody that I don't know that listens to the podcast. And so I go, take a picture with me. So I took a picture, and I was like all excited. And they took off and left after they had their fireball shots. Talked for a minute, and then I went over to.
We know Amanda.
Just stop the live broadcast.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Amanda's here, by the way.
And so, anywho, well, I went
Hey, Amanda.
I went. Hi.
Hi.
I'm done.
I didn't mean to interrupt us. Sorry.
You've been distracted for about 30 seconds.
I have no more stories to tell.
Fireball taking a shot with Jody.
Yeah.
Or taking a picture with Jody, not a shot with her.
And so I go back and I'm going to put it on Instagram, and it's black. Like, I'm scrolling through my camera.
Do you have is there any breadcrumbs leading back to Jody or whoever this person was?
Find her on Facebook.
So I noticed this on the images that I took with my camera, because the whole day I was taking pictures with my digital camera.
Your non-iPhone?
Not my phone, my Nikon. Nikon, whatever. And so I have pictures of all of them on their bikes when they stopped, and I took pictures of them while they did their fireball shots. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe you could run that.
I'll bet you the hive mind can figure out who Jody is.
Hey, I didn't even do a Facebook search.
Well, you said that her kids were older, or were they like Arkansas older enough to drink, or were they?
Well, the son, there was.
Do you think they were 21?
I'm thinking about it. The son did not participate. He just kind of stood and watched. So he must not have been old enough.
Uh-huh.
The daughter must have been old enough because she went in front of the mom. So it was obvious that she was, and then after that, I carded her and made sure she was old enough before we gave her.
After she took the shot?
No. Before.
When she jumped first in line.
When she passed out, he went through her purse to make sure. Oh God.
The son might have been an abstainer.
I think there was some conversation about him not being old enough.
Okay.
I just don't remember exactly.
Let's just not dismiss the abstainers who choose not to partake.
There are people like that.
That's true. But he looked young, though, is what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Dr. Horrell, good to have you.
Thanks.
How was your meeting?
It went well.
Good. We had a big weekend.
Yep.
Fall Creek Falls half marathon.
Where is that?
You saw two of my favorite people.
We did.
Carrie and Dane Jensen are top-notch, wonderful folks.
They reached out to me and said, "Hey, you're running?" And I said, "I'm not even running around my block, let alone driving to Chattanooga to go run."
So it's in Chattanooga then?
It's in Spencer, Tennessee. It's
it's
below Sparta and Cookeville, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's in between Cookeville and Chattanooga. Is the way I always describe it.
Yeah.
Yep. So we went up there with Melissa and stayed at Amanda's parents' house, and we went down there and we had a steak dinner prepared by Dane and Carrie. Both of them put in the work, and it was wonderful. And
dedicated
to Carol. That was the reason that they prepared the same meal that we had at Fall Creek Falls.
Did you guys take down an entire bottle of Jameson like I did
that
night?
They did.
I asked.
They didn't. Dane didn't do a bad job.
I asked if he was going to do that also, and he said not the whole thing.
He didn't disappoint you.
There you go.
I can promise you that.
That was an unintentional vendor that night. And if I could tell the story real quick, first time I went was the first time I think Dane went and Carrie went, and show up at the start line after drinking way too much the night before. And Dane's like, "Hey, man, I'm just going to run with you if that's okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. But I'm not going to run fast because I'm feeling a little hungover." He's like, "Oh, no worries." And he just sprints out of the gate. And I tried to keep up with him. And I think for about 3 miles I kept up with him, and then I finally stopped and puked. And
oh God. That would be terrible.
But then it was a puke and rally kind of situation. I actually felt pretty good after that, but Wilson lied to me and told me it was a flat course, and so I'd already expended too much energy, and It was just downhill from there.
The rally must have come and gone by the time that I saw you because
Yeah, he was walking on the trail with.
you weren't on the upside of rally. I can promise you that. I could smell you from about a mile and a half away.
Yeah,
I think,
no doubt about
I
it.
think Swanson is hurting.
Yeah, there was
terrible.
the struggle bus.
Was that 20?
That's as bad as I've ever seen you.
Was that 2017?
It's either 16 or 17. Probably 17, I guess.
I think 17 is probably accurate.
Yeah. I don't know. 2016. Oh, yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was either 16 or 17, but I just couldn't remember exactly
Yeah.
when. So,
Yep.
anyways, but that is still, despite the challenges that I created for myself, one of my favorite races, and I will go back someday. I just couldn't do it this year.
I'd like to go back after running that because I really do love that course. Also, it's just very nice. I'd
It's a
like to go
beautiful
back,
area.
and I would like to win the Athena half marathon trail race next year.
You want to win it?
I want to win it.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
That's a pretty awesome goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she already won the 50K officially.
I did. If it last year, or yeah, well, last year because I was the only Athena person in there.
No, I mean this year
They ran
had,
it last
They
year?
had you listed as winning
Oh,
first
I
place.
emailed him. I had Melissa
in
email him.
50K.
Yeah, they had me as first place because for some reason they put Wilson and Melissa down as starting 2 hours early, but they didn't me. So I beat everybody, and I was first place.
So there was some poor woman out there that
Yeah,
gave her
killed
heart
herself,
soul.
and then she's crying at home because she made second.
Because we started.
I never even saw her.
I know, yeah.
Exactly. I felt so bad because I kept waiting for the numbers to change. And I checked it all day long, and because Melissa had been in contact with them, and he knew that we were supposed to be doing that. I was like, "Hey, can you shoot him an email or give me his email that you contacted him through? Because he needs to change that. I don't feel good about people thinking they've made second, and third when they've made first, second.
Right.
Yeah, so, but officially, at least for now, I'm first place. I won it
amazing.
by just a couple minutes.
Nice. Speaking of rally, there was a kid that came into the aid station Saturday, bawling his eyes out. It was he was a 50 miler, and this was his second time into the tent that day, and he was just crying his eyes out. And I think his mom and dad were there with. He's an older guy. I mean, not older, but he was not a little kid. He was.
Like teen?
No,
Early?
he must have been in his 20s.
Okay.
You don't have to be a kid to be bawling.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I said his parents were there. It looked like his parents. It could have just been his friends. I don't know. It seemed like it was his mom and dad. And Sean took real good care of him. And they set him down. And I was talking to him, and I said, "Well, has anything hurt?" He goes, "No, just never run this far before." and like he was just distraught, man.
God.
And so Sean talked to him for a minute, and I said, "Man, if nothing's hurting, you're probably going to be good. Let's get some food in you." And Holly Trim got up and asked him if he wanted a beer, and he goes, "Yeah." And so she gave him a beer, and he cracked a beer and started drinking it, and he started eating some food, and you could tell he just started feeling better and better. And then finally he got up and grabbed like a giant handful of sour Skittles.
Yes. I love it.
Crushed his beer can and just took off.
Oh, nice.
Was eating these Skittles.
That is so
Man,
great.
Sour Skittles have got me through some tough times too.
Man.
I could feel that.
So what mile marker would he have been at when
It
he
was
got to you?
36 miles. So
36
he had like
miles.
12 miles left to go.
He had that.
Man,
He had that.
that's a soul crushing moment.
It is.
If your
Yeah.
first time.
Late
10 to
30s
50,
is
yeah.
sucky.
Yeah.
Do you know that he finished?
I don't know. I need to go look it up because now I know what his name is because somebody tagged him in the picture I took of him.
If you sent him on his way with the beer, some food, and a handful of gummies, I bet he was
he's
good.
gonna be fine.
That's awesome.
Then there was one guy that
Proof that it's a world
wasn't
greatest
so
stage.
great shape at 36, and man, he was puking, and it was just no bueno. And I mean, he tried to drink, and he would just throw up every time. And finally, he just got his chair and sat down. It's like,
Sometimes the body just
you're not gonna.
won't do what you want it to do.
Yeah, and that guy, I saw a picture of him, and he looked really fit. And I think
Yeah.
that there's a difference between somebody like me that runs out of gas and is just like, I can't go anymore, and somebody that like really puts out and just drains all the tanks, and there's nothing more literally that they can do, as opposed to just collapsing on themselves.
Right. The last thing you wanted that dude is to go, hey, man, take off and go in the woods.
Yeah,
and then,
just keep pushing.
A mile later, he
Just
starts
he
throwing
dies.
up again, and he's in the middle of the woods.
Right.
He's got a rhabdo or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I hate to bring up the past, but like you doing the Canadian, like the thing in Canada, like you didn't mentally give up. Like your body physically quit on you. There's a difference between mentally quitting and physically quitting, and your body physically quit on you. It's like, there are those people.
I wouldn't have been able.
And the last thing he needed was the guy at the aid station going, just keep pushing.
Just keep pushing.
Just take this handful of gummies
You
of
got
Sour
this.
Patch Kids, and you
got
can
this,
do it.
dude.
Slam this
That's
beer
right.
and do another dozen push-ups. Till your eyeballs
You know
bleed.
what? That Sour Patch Kid, that one's gonna get me through.
I'm sure after I throw up one more time.
Anyways, you've been there. Is my point.
Yeah.
So.
It was a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed it. I wish we could do that more. You know, we get to do that twice a year now, I guess. Big Hill Pond and here. I wish there was another one.
I think I think we're maybe doing Witch Dance. Gavin has one kind of coming up that he wanted to
Really?
host. I think he was going to borrow the tent.
Y'all two in particular really love that.
I love it.
I love it. I wish I'd been in town for that. I would.
I especially love the whole, I can go there and camp the night before and get up and be there. That's that's a hell of an experience.
I love the idea of going and supporting runners when you know where you're at in the race as an aid station and you know exactly what that person's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, because we've been there before, and like, who better to help them than the people that have, trekked this path in the past, kind of thing. And I mean, there's been a couple years that I came out to Snaky Creek that I was in shape to run it. I just chose not to run it for whatever reason, and really, really enjoyed being out there supporting everybody else and just hanging out. So.
And besides, we always have good food.
Right.
I think I literally gained.
Sometimes we leave some for the runners. I was going to say sometimes we leave some for the runners.
I left at 197.
You got to check it to make sure it still tastes okay on the table.
Right.
Yeah. And this morning I weighed 199 pounds. So.
I do not weigh.
That's probably a bad
199
spot in
pounds.
your floor. That's what I say. Where the floor is warped.
It has nothing to do with the beer and pizza rolls. And the Skittles I wouldn't stop eating.
But I'm with you, Vaughn. Like, I think the camping part of it is probably the most fun. And I had family in town this past weekend, but otherwise I would have been there. So I was jealous.
Yeah, it was awesome. Sean Hilston had his pop-up camper.
Sean Hilston, the Eagle Scout, probably had all the things taken care of.
Yeah,
He had a kayak in his pocket.
He brought a stand-up paddle board.
Whatever that
That he
was.
blew
Of course
up.
he did.
Yeah.
I figured he made it.
He probably just whittled it out of a tree while he was watching the race.
You know what, though? I did bring my magnet with me. We've talked
Did you go magnet
Did you
fishing?
magnet fish?
Yeah, well, I didn't.
you did?
I didn't. I was working, but I saw they had Gavin's two kid boys were there, and then Sean's two kids were there, and they were just running around, And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show them this magnet, and so I got the magnet. And I said, hey guys, check this out. And they said, what's that? And I said, it's a magnet. And what do you do with it? I said, just take it and throw it out in the water, and see if you catch something. See if something metal sticks to it. You never know what might come up. Those kids played with that magnet.
I believe it.
For 8 hours.
Did they catch anything?
We didn't. They were pulling like fishing lures and stuff out of the
Yeah.
thing. And
Whatever.
they literally all day long played with that stupid magnet. And we
you're a
never saw them.
superhero.
I believe
You're
it.
a superhero.
I kept going down there. I'd go down there like every hour, and I'd be like, "Don't lose my magnet. You still got my magnet." And they go, we're not going to lose it. This thing is awesome. And they just kept.
We pulled up a fridge.
I'm surprised. I didn't.
Forever it's going to be, is the magnet guy going to be there? Is magnet guy going to be there?
I bet you parents are going to be buying those magnets because they loved it.
I like your shoes.
Oh, thank you, Brooks. Something or other.
That sounds exciting. Fishing with a magnet sounds really exciting. Pulling up anything would be so exciting.
Last fall, Katie and I went to Hot Springs with some friends that have a place there and a boat that they keep on the water. And at some point when we dropped anchor, the guy that owned the boat, like, he pulled out a magnet and started throwing it, and like never caught anything. But he's like, you just never know.
You never know, man.
He's like, I throw it 5 or 10 times and like see if I can pull anything up. And if I pull something up, I do. If I don't, I don't. But
I see these guys on Reddit pulling bicycles out of the pond. World War II weapons and stuff. People that are over in Europe will pull like these German, like handguns.
That would be weird to pull one up in Hot Springs. Just
I missed it.
A World War II weapon.
It would be weird.
It would be weird to pull up a World War II weapon in Hot Springs.
Oh, in Hot Springs. Yeah, that would be weird. Well, you never know where those Nazis went after the war.
Nazis. So Dane and Carrie told us the night before, and I think this is what's so awesome about like trail running and the event is that they didn't even run the event. They just decided they had their dogs with them, and they said, we just decided that instead of going and running the event and getting all worn out, and then not really wanting to take our dogs to the trail, we may just get up and go run our dogs on the trail instead. And I thought that was really cool. I think
really cool.
It's worth the price of admission to sign up for an event that gets everybody together, gets you to have dinner, hang out, get a cabin, and just to do something. There's nothing wrong with paying $70 to get out and have a good time.
Well, and circling back, I completely forgot to acknowledge the fact that, like, in honor of Carol, like, they made that steak dinner. Like, I do remember that dinner that Carol made for all of us and how epic it was. And,
did she make it in a skillet like she did at Sillamore?
Oh,
or did they cook
probably if there was one there. I don't think we brought one with us, so I can't remember specifically. But anyways, that's really awesome that you guys did that. And
we toasted Carol and
that's awesome.
ate our steak and
very, very cool.
It was good. So the cabin they stayed in, they thought was kind of haunted. And Wilson had a great idea. I was trying to memorize the number before I left, but he wrote it down. This cabin had an old school rotary phone.
Oh, nice.
In the bathroom. And so they had some issues with lights coming on in the middle of the night and then shutting back off with nobody moving or doing it. So they were a little concerned. And so Dane had said, if that phone rings, I'm out of here.
So Wilson wrote down the number
on the way home, tried to call.
Just wait until like 2 o'clock in the morning. One night when you're up and just random call.
Because I used the bathroom before I left. I was like, all right, 615-886. I was sitting there just over and over my head, but I forgot the digits. And
did you, that was the number, or that was just the number?
It was the number written on. There was no dial tone.
Yeah.
So it was a dead number.
Oh, okay. Because what I would have sure as heck done is I would have called my cell phone with it so that I knew for sure what the number was, that the outbound number was. But you said it was no dial tone.
Yeah.
But he tried anyway. We're almost home. He's like, I'm calling this number.
Because we were telling, it was so weird. They love watching scary movies,
right?
And the lady that hosted the B&B or whatever it was called, in her picture, of herself, of her profile, she's like taking a picture, and behind her there is a dead person. It's just like Amanda's doing right now, like laying out. It's
like arched over.
You have to assume it's a mannequin.
Yeah.
But it's scary as hell. It's totally scary. Dane found.
I could see a themed Airbnb, but I would feel like that would be obvious that it was themed that way.
That's what Dane was thinking, that Carrie had put him up to some kind of because
they're into that. They're totally because their wedding reception was a Halloween party.
Yes,
that's correct.
So they would totally be into that.
And Dane said he was laying in bed and he was like, okay, one more thing, and I think I'm going to call her out on this. But he was also getting spooked at the same time. That would scare the hell out of me. No way.
Oh yeah, we'd already be packed up and back.
If
home.
that phone rang,
if anything happened,
would you
that light
answer
came on?
if it rang?
No, I'd run. I would leave. I would leave everything that I had, and I would drive away.
What if the phone with no dial tone rang and you answered it and they said it was a collect call
from Nazi Germany?
So Amanda showed me this video on Facebook of these people in an elevator where the lights, they flip the power on the elevator, and then in a panel in the dark, a little girl.
Yeah, there's all sorts of shows like that where they intentionally scare people, and
I'm getting goosebumps just if somebody did that to me, I would be institutionalized for the rest of my life. Amanda went out of town.
I would go to jail for punching the little girl.
That's the problem. That's a problem.
You just like take a boot to her head.
Why would you not?
Be like,
you're not going to sit there and wait for her to attack you. I mean, that would have to be the first thing that you did when the lights went back out. Just start throwing haymakers and crying. Amanda went out of town, and I got so spooked that I ran. And then the other night, I was taking something down to the
we had some firewood left over from last winter, taking it back down to the shed down at the bottom of the hill by the pond.
And it hit me that because Amanda's always telling me to stop to look at the little girl at the edge of the pond when our car lights pull up.
I'm like, did you see her?
And it scares me. And I tell her,
"Oh, you're just messing with him because you know if I mess with him, okay."
But
if I could get some little reflector eyes down there and nail it to the tree, I'd be like, look at her eyes.
And so I started running. I put the firewood down. And I started running, and then Amanda came to the door, and I slowed down and started walking. Like, I'm fine.
Why is the firewood just laying out in the middle of the yard?
I need to get a
Wilson. Are you crying?
I need to get a little cardboard cutout.
No, you don't. You don't need to do anything.
So that when Wilson comes to my house to do the weed and feed stuff, like there's just like a little girl like in one of the windows or something.
Oh man!
I was gonna say,
just a black long wig.
Oh man!
I was gonna say one night I'll drive out here and put something out there. But he'd probably shoot me on the way out there.
I'd shoot myself.
Him and Amanda both would be firing at me out the window. Who is that? What is that guy doing? Shoot him! Shoot him!
Get him, Amanda! Get him! Do something, for God's sakes!
Save me, Amanda!
Hold me! I hate it. I really get scared really, really easily.
You know, it's so funny talking about movies and some people really love like horror and thrillers and suspense movies. I don't like the feeling of being scared. I love movies that make me laugh. I love movies that make me cry. I love movies that make me feel like sad and happy. Like I love movies that evoke emotion in me. I do not enjoy being scared.
I agree.
Samesies.
I don't like things like going around corners type thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that anticipation. If there's something around there and they're going to walk into it, it's like, I
love that. I love all that. All of that kind of stuff I can't do the gore. If it's all the horror genre is great to me, except for like the slasher gore.
So can you do Saw? I like Saw. Saw's not scary to me.
I don't know that I've watched it because I always assume
I've never watched it.
People in pieces.
The part where the camera flashes and the violin goes ring, like you can handle like the boo.
Oh yeah.
By yourself? Can you watch it by yourself?
But not if it's like.
See, like the gore part of it. Like I watched like Chicago Med and Chicago PD, and like there's more gore on those shows.
Oh no, I look away from the screen, or Holly will tell me, "You don't want to watch this." I'll be like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't want to watch that."
Yeah, like so the gore part doesn't bother me as much as like the feeling of terror and like the knowing that when they look around the corner, there's going to be something there. And then still being shocked
and it's still
and jumping out of my seat when something's there, and it's because they do those. I think they call them stingers. Like I think that's like the movie term for it. Like when they do like the loud music, like the real quick, to kind of
the
scare
violin
you.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not very good rendition.
But the thing to scare you when the thing that pops up, because like. You watch the videos, and if you watched it on mute, you'd be like, "Oh,
yeah." I watch
not
scary trailers on mute, so I can at least kind of see what's going on. But I can't hear.
Makes it, the music makes it scary.
I want to like scary movies; they look good, but then the thought of having to like watch the whole story play out, I just can't
it's
do
just
it.
little girls, just little dolls.
Like that movie that was just not. I guess it's been about a year ago now. The one where it shows like the house is way bigger on the inside than the outside, and the guy's walking around looking at why is my house only like he got the measuring tape out, and he goes back inside the house, and it's like he's sitting there scratching his head, and like there's there's things in the house. He starts figuring stuff out, and things start coming up.
I haven't seen that.
I want to see it
that's
so
the,
bad, but I
are you
can't. I
talking
would
about-
never
So,
sleep again.
I've got a good friend of mine that's really, really, really into horror stuff. And she invited us over and some other friends, and they all had kids. And they're like, hey, we're going to like set up a projector in the backyard. We're going to watch a movie. I'm like, great. I'll come over for that. Y'all have kids. It's not going to be any scary. No, they put the kids to bed. And then we watched Us.
You should have left.
It's a
you should have left.
Jordan Peele. Not Jordan Peele. Jordan.
Get Out.
It doesn't matter.
Is it called Get Out? Is that?
There is a movie called Get Out, and I'm pretty sure the actor that you're about to say.
It's Key and Peele. It's one of those guys.
Yeah. I think that's what you're talking about.
But one of the two, not the tall one, but the not tall one of Key and Peele, he's actually like an amazing director and does a lot of stuff with movies, and he's really into horror stuff. He's actually the one that hosts the new Twilight Zone.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think it's called Us, and it's basically like clones show up
Yeah.
and
I
try
thought that was
and try
Get
and
Out.
kill you.
No.
Try and no,
Yeah.
Get Out is the one where
probably
like
gonna
the
mix
girl brings the boyfriend home, and then they try and do some kind of like mind lobotomy on them to turn them into slaves.
Huh.
Hey, did Scottie Pippen's son die?
Yes.
How did he die?
He had really bad asthma, and I think he had some episode or something like that killed him.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
Pretty recent, yeah.
Last month.
I mean, I think
I
it's
wasn't
been at
aware.
least 2 weeks ago.
I wasn't aware of that.
It's been at least 2 weeks ago.
Not the one that's playing basketball. He has an older son.
He was like 30, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you know, I have a history of getting not very good information, and I saw it on Twitter. I thought, and then
It's got to be real.
well, then I put it in my notes because for last episode to ask about it, and then
I
forgot to
read
look it
Scottie
up.
Pippen's statement, and I want to say he said something about he had struggled with asthma most of his whole life, which led me to believe it was some sort of. I don't think he said exactly how he died. I don't know.
I was telling Amanda there's a guy at ATC, and he's one of those guys that he finds a way to link everything to like every conversation leads back to border protection or politics
Immigrants taking our jobs.
or he just whatever, just COVID or just whatever it is. And he was talking about somebody said something about DMX dying, and he goes, I don't listen to any of that. I don't even know who DMX is. He died of a cocaine overdose. I was like, you just said you don't even know who he is.
I don't know
Yet
anything about him.
you have the inside scoop of that he died of a cocaine overdose, which, by the way, it doesn't make any difference at all what he died of. But do you know what DMX died of?
Do I know how DMX died?
I would assume.
I thought he had. I thought it was COVID. Actually, is what I thought. I just don't know why I thought that.
Why do I feel like he had cancer or something? I did read this. I just don't remember. I don't recall.
You see what happens is someone on YouTube is going to leave this nasty long comment that we don't know what. We're a bunch of morons. We don't know anything about DMX. We don't know shit about Scottie Pippen,
Which,
or his
which
son.
let's be clear, we don't.
Well, that should be the disclaimer. Not that that we might curse. It should be that we're a bunch of idiots who have no idea what we're talking about.
We
And I
see
don't-
one
Amanda's
title.
the only smart one in the room.
My internet doesn't even work. I know nothing. I
We
can't answer your
talked
questions.
about a particular situation that involved particular people, and somehow those particular people watched our podcast. and were
Actually,
very-
what we did was we talked about a headline.
That's
Yes.
right.
All we did, you read a freaking headline, and I said, and then I just extrapolated on that without knowing anything about the story, and it was hilarious.
Well, they didn't like it.
Now I wish I knew what we were talking about.
And now
I think it's on our Slack channel that we talked about it. You have to go back and look.
I'll give you a hint. It has to do with CrossFit.
Oh,
And that's all I'm gonna say.
I know what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't happy about it. But the point being, we don't know what we're talking about. So
Nor do we.
Neither does anybody.
Ever
No one
really.
who listens to this show expects us to know anything.
Anybody that knows us well enough knows that we don't.
We don't know how DMX
Well,
died.
I'll tell you what, Miss Ake that I ran into at the aid station in Village Creek State Park said we have a fine podcast.
She did,
It's
indeed.
very entertaining.
That's very nice. That is very nice.
I do want to say about DMX, like, the cool thing is, like, so he was, I don't know if in the hospital or on his way to passing or whatever you want to refer to it as, like, for about a week. Like, they kind of knew he was going. I read some pretty amazing stories about some cool stuff he did and, like, what a great dad he was and how thoughtful he was and stuff like that. Like,
I believe it.
He definitely had his angst about some things, and that went into his lyrics, but that generally he was a very good person.
It would be hard to. He accomplished a lot.
Right.
It would be hard to get to where he was without having some really good qualities, and I don't know if endearing would be the word, but I mean you got to have some. You got to have some drive.
You got to have some staying power.
Yeah. Here's a question: would you rather have 50 DMX years or 100 Prince Charles years? Isn't it Charles that
Prince
just
Charles.
How old was he when he died?
He was close to 100. Or, because Queen Elizabeth is 95, 96, 97, something like that. So, I mean, he's got to be somewhere in there.
I mean, do I have to live
You
Would
know
you
like
rather
what?
roll in, roll out like Charles or
I mean, it depends.
No, like Charles. Man, I don't think that royal life is a good life.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
I
was
think
gonna
I
say.
think it
I
looks
would
good from
DMX
the
and
outside.
get out.
I think I would DMX.
I think I
50
would too.
DMX years would be
Pretty
some
large.
really large years.
But I would take the Prince Charles years if I didn't have to do the Prince Charles
but
stuff.
but you can't. I'm assuming what you're saying is like,
So we
would
got-
you rather live DMX's
you
life
gotta be
or
DMX
Prince
and
Charles's
do
life?
nobody is
cocaine
offering you his
and-
bank account, but not having to show up at the events and hold your fork right.
Okay, well, I wouldn't be able to Prince Charles. I
You-
would
no
have,
Prince Charles
I would
for
have
you.
to DMX.
What about you, Amanda?
I'd be Kate Middleton's best friend. Sit right up in there in that castle.
You could do that. You would enjoy that.
I would
life.
enjoy that. I would enjoy that 110%.
That's K-Max too. She would too. That is the life that she would pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she don't even need to be a princess. She just wants to be invited to the parties.
Yep. Yep.
It's too bad that lady from CrossFit killed all of them.
Guess what? Was it even her that we were saying killed him, or was it her boyfriend?
I don't know.
Stop. Stop.
Well, nobody will leave us a 5-star review, so the best we got is somebody cussing us out on YouTube.
Oh man, I had to make.
And nobody even
There's no
watches
such
us.
thing as bad publicity.
Nobody even watches us on YouTube. How the hell did she find that?
She went out searching for
See
it.
what happened was.
Next question.
Guess who's coming on the show in 2 weeks?
Oh, I know Sean Hilston and Brian Williams.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Are we going to talk about Big Hill Walking Tall?
That's what we're going to do.
Will we be in town for that?
For the podcast or the?
Oh, that's what I thought you were asking.
Oh, the Walking Tall,
Where would we not be?
Orange Beach. I know it's all around those dates.
Oh.
October 16th.
We may not be.
I don't think we will be. I got to double check dates, but I was thinking about that the other day. I think we've hit.
Oh, man. Well,
I'm gonna have to make pizza rolls.
yep. Somebody's got to
run
make pizza.
You
roll.
going to run the world's greatest aid station?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go camp.
If I'm still alive, after having attempted to complete a half Ironman, I will come participate at the world's greatest aid station with you.
Okay.
I won't help run it, but I will be a worker there.
Sounds good to me.
Can you verify that we're not going to be here?
Yeah, let me look.
We don't need to do it on the show, though.
I don't even know yet.
No, we're all going to wait.
Silence.
If I stop.
Nobody say another word.
Nobody say another broken,
I
scratchy.
already confirmed with
Oh.
Sean that I could camp and.
We'll be
all that
driving
good
back October 16th that day.
So you'll be driving back the night of the 15th to show up at the campground
Yeah.
at 6 a.m.
I
on
did.
the
You know,
16th.
did you confirm that is the date of Big Hill Pond? Because I just made that up off the top of my head.
Oh,
October 16th is.
all right. Well, let me look at that.
If you were trusting.
My mom's calling, and she knows what
obviously,
time we do
I
this
don't know
podcast.
anything about anything. So
She's calling to tell you that she can't
She's
hear
calling.
you on the Facebook Live.
she's like,
I just told
honey, we can't hear you on the Facebook Live. Tell that moron to shut up about the CrossFit lady.
She didn't kill those people.
Well, I wish that I knew. I don't want to stop what I'm doing, but that would be
October 16th.
that's when it is.
Look at me with some facts.
Yeah.
That's some horse pucky. Is horse pucky a word that y'all said growing up?
It's horse. I don't know.
I like
if
that
ever
word.
said it.
Did y'all say?
I've never said that word in my life.
You
but
haven't?
I like that
I didn't know
word.
how common it was.
Is it like malarkey?
It's a lot like I put
bunch
that.
of
I classify.
Sounds
those
like
both
shenanigans.
together.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
Malarkey,
I heard
shenanigans.
my
Shenanigans.
grandpa. That was the worst word I ever heard him say. I never once saw
Horse
him.
pucky?
I never saw him angry in his entire life. And he was talking to the person at Service Merchandise on the telephone, and he told the person that it was bull malarkey. And I
Bull
thought,
malarkey.
Grandpa is pissed off. That was Grandpa's as pissed off as he's going to get at somebody. Bull malarkey. And horse pucky.
There you
What
go.
is pucky?
I'm guessing.
I mean, I know it's poop, but like, is that a
Why is it called pucky?
Horse puck?
yeah? Yeah.
I think because when it dries out, it's like a puck.
And back in the olden days, they had to use that for
But
a
you know,
hockey puck when they played street.
so
I'm
you
making
can't just
shit
say
up.
things like this on a podcast. Somebody's going to hear
It says
this.
right here on Google, back in the frontier days, when they would play street hockey, that's what they had to use for their pucks.
You're lying.
because it was.
You're lying. Are you
didn't
serious?
He doesn't even have internet. No. Y'all are awful.
Did you say in the 1800s?
Street hockey. Game off. Horse. There's a horse coming. Game off.
On the rollerblades. Oh man.
Game on.
Just in case there was any question whether or not we were a
Full of
legitimate,
shit.
knowledgeable.
Hey, so we had our meeting last week for the Swift and Swole event.
We did.
How'd that go?
It went awesome.
I
It's going
was
to be huge. This thing's gonna be
Really
huge.
thinking there was going to be some kind of a synopsis of what was talked about.
There
and-
should have been, yeah.
So minutes were taken.
things- and,
Good-
and things that needed to be followed up on that
Yeah.
I might be able to jump in, even though I wasn't able to be.
Minutes
here.
were taken, and a Google Doc is supposed to be created and opened up for all of us to
Okay.
view.
I would. I mean, I'd love to participate. I just wasn't able to come last Monday. So
Yeah.
There's still things that need to be nailed down. A venue being one of them, but the basis of the event, what we're thinking at this point, is an 8-hour event instead of a 12-hour event. We'll have 3 minutes of deadlifting and bench press, as many reps as you can get every hour for each
and
participant.
the run portion still would preferably be a trail, correct?
We would like that, but it has to. I want it to be we want it to be a 1 mile loop.
It might be gravel instead of
Probably
trail.
would be even better if it was a loop and not an out and back.
Yeah.
Since
because the crowding.
we're going to have a ton of people. So
And the issue comes in if you have a 3-mile loop or something like that, you got to get back to do, to be in your weightlifting spot. So that would be, nobody's going to want to have to wait around for an extra 10 or 15 minutes of, they want to be moving as much as they possibly can.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things at play. I don't see how it's going to be. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I can see it being a lot easier to do on pavement than on a trail.
I think the opportunity to find the place to do it is going to be easier around pavement, if that makes sense.
I think so too.
Like where you can set up the weightlifting and have accessible running paths.
And power and internet and all those things that we're going to
and
need.
food trucks.
And food trucks. Place for a band to set up. It's going to be wicked.
I have thoughts.
So, y'all may have talked about this earlier, but I just wanted to put this out here. I have not been running. Obviously, I've got a lot of things on my plate. But after, getting back on the trail and stuff, I haven't ran, I don't think, since that one little run we did in January, and then the St. Jude Marathon. It was really nice to get out there, and it felt good. And I'm really looking forward to starting back, even if it's just a few 5Ks here and there. It felt good, and I kind of miss it. I hadn't missed it in a long time, and I miss it.
I have two thoughts if I can piggyback on that. One, I have ordered a very expensive coat hanger from Concept 2.
Okay. Nice.
I'm hoping to eventually use it as a rower also.
But you've put down the $1.
Did they decide that they were going to ship it to you?
It's going to be here this week. That's a whole other story, which I'll come back to at a later date. But number two, so Lane Percher passed away this year. Lane Percher was the voice of Memphis Runners Track Club. If you've been to a race that MRTC helped put on, you probably heard Lane's voice. The road race series this year and probably for hereafter has been renamed to the Lane Percher Memorial Road Race Series. I'm going to run it this year in his honor. I knew Lane personally, but also one of my coworkers is married to his daughter. And so it's important to me, and I'm going to get out there and do that this year. But
can you tell us what the road race series is?
The road race series is put on by Memphis Runners Track Club. It's a 10-race series that starts in July. 10 races.
Okay.
What they do is they actually fund a scholarship for runners that have college scholarship runners that have run out of scholarship dollars to continue to fund their education. It's 2 5Ks in July, 2 5-milers in August, 2 10Ks in September, 2 10-milers in October, 2 half marathons in November. It's a really great series. You don't have to run all 10, but if you're going to run like 3 of the races, it's cheaper to register for all 10.
How much is it?
Don't quote me, but I want to say it's somewhere around $75, which includes an annual membership to MRTC, which will get you a discount on other races throughout the year.
$75 and you can run all 10 races?
All 10 races.
Yeah,
it's a good deal.
It's definitely a good deal.
So, anyways.
Yeah, I signed up and ran 1 or 2 last year.
I'm hoping it's going to motivate me to run and get back into it. But for Lane's sake, I just think it's really, really awesome that they renamed it in honor of him. And so I know I'm 99% sure that the shirt this year is going to have a picture of him, like a silhouette of him holding the microphone. And so I want the shirt. And so I'll run some races to get the shirt.
Cool.
Back to what you said. It is nice to get to that place where you want to.
I haven't wanted to in a long time.
I know. Well, I know the feeling. I know that whether it be running or lifting or CrossFitting or whatever, you kind of go through these ebbs and flows. And when you get to a place that when you try it once or you get in your head that that's what I want to do again, it's really nice to get there. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You had a good time if you want to go back and win the thing next time.
Yeah, I love that trail. I love it. Awesome. It's so pretty, and it's, I don't know how to explain it. The course is fluffy, soft
it really
ground.
is fluffy soft.
Not too many steep hills. I mean, there's a few steep hills, but for the most part, I mean, it's just kind of a nice kind of up and down flow. Rolling hills. It's really nice.
You acted like it was a damn.
He was hungover.
That is totally
he was
the
climbing
whiskey
a cliff.
talking.
In his head, he was climbing a cliff.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember going across the swinging bridge yesterday.
Oh, wow.
He's like, we went across the suspension bridge? It's like, we did. We're on Mile 8.
No, I honestly have fond memories of it. I just like to give you crap because you 100% tried to convince me that course was flat before I ran it.
In comparison to what we had been doing, the Sylamore and the Swamp Stomper is what I was comparing it to, and it's nothing like those. Nothing. Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close.
Anyways, that's why I keep bringing that up, is just to give you a hard time.
I tell you, the first mile and a half of that thing is a pain in the ass. I mean, if you're going to get started with the liter of whiskey sloshing around in your liver, that first mile and a half.
The first mile is uphill.
At least, I mean, it's like a mile and a half. You go a mile on pavement.
Yeah, you go 0.75 miles on pavement, and then you hit just a hard rock trail.
We don't need your facts clouding our story that we're trying to tell here.
My bad. It's 40 miles uphill.
Uphill.
On pavement.
That's right.
There's never any downhill.
There's never any downhill. There was a guy the guy that won the 50K came up on me, scared me to death. I thought he was a predator. I thought he was something like coming to attack me. He came so quickly. And he had trekking poles. I'd never seen anybody so quick with trekking poles that he's running and he like throws them out and is like da 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 da, and he hits it like 5 times and then he's like and he reels them back in and keeps running. I've never seen somebody so like only on this and that.
One of my favorite mocking and ultra runner memes that I've seen is like, hey guy with your backpack and your trek poles, my kid just climbed this hill in his Crocs with his bunny rabbit stuffed animal, so like dial it down a little bit or something like that.
This guy was badass with trekking poles.
I mean, if he won the 50K, then he's obviously got some secret that we don't know.
Fast. I mean.
Yep, he finished the 50K like 10 minutes after I finished the half marathon. Man, he was flying.
Did you enjoy the race?
I loved it. Yeah, I totally loved it. I had a great time.
It was a good day. It was overcast. I think it was around 70-ish. Maybe it was the high.
Is it always this? Is it always in May? I was thinking it was earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Is it?
I think so.
I thought it was earlier too, but I don't know.
They get moved because.
So the biggest reason why I could Notre Dame's spring football game was this weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
I mean, we won. We played ourselves, but we looked good. But my son came in from Nashville. My grandson came in from Cookeville, and like it's all but 2 of my grandkids were there. So all my kids and grandkids, other than 2, were around, and it was just an awesome weekend. And
did they have the stadium? A lot of people in the stadium, or no?
No, they weren't. That's why. So we go every year. Like the spring game is a family tradition, and they weren't allowing fans this year.
Okay.
They didn't even do the game last year because of COVID. This year they did the game, but the only people that are allowed in the stadium are family of players, faculty, and students. And so I called everybody and I said, well, they're still streaming the game, so we're still going to tailgate like we always do, and we're still going to watch the game. We're just going to do it at my house instead of in South Bend, and that's what we did.
Oh, I apologize. It's been early March the last few years.
That's what I was thinking, and
2019 was March 10th.
That's what I was worried about, is that it was the potential that it could conflict with the blue and gold game consistently, and anyways. Obviously, it didn't in 2016 and 2017, so hopefully it normally won't. But
I have a problem enjoying spring games. Like you said, we won because you're playing each other, because there's no good that comes out of it, because when there's a good offensive play, that's good except for your defense sucks. And then when there's a good defensive play, you're like, well, I wish our offense would do better. So it's hard to...
I'm super excited from a coaching perspective this year. You're right. And they changed up the rules this year of how they did the scoring, which kind of annoyed me because our quarterback coach got promoted to offensive coordinator, and we picked up Cincinnati's defensive coordinator. So he's new this year, and I really wish normally they score it as an offense versus defense score, and this year they actually had like 2 teams playing against each other. And scored it as like a regular football game. And I just think it would have been good competitively to see the offensive coordinator versus the defensive coordinator and that kind of thing. But
interesting.
I have something random.
Give me something
totally
random.
like off topic, weird.
Cool.
But Petey retired today.
I saw that.
Congrats,
that's incredible.
Petey.
Yeah, way to go, Petey.
Retired from what?
From teaching at Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's got like 42 jobs.
I know, yeah.
I was going to say she retired.
Yeah.
She retired from one of her jobs.
She retired.
Which, good for her. I mean, seriously.
She has led an interesting career for sure.
Yeah, she taught the nursing
She's had many interesting careers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So-
14 years there.
So that's
That's
fun.
amazing.
Wow. So good job. Congrats.
What do you go,
Good for
Petey?
her.
What else? I don't have anything else.
I got nothing.
Vaughn, good to see you back in the CrossFit game. You're on month 2.
Month 2.
All right.
I'll be
Day
back
one
after
today.
next week. I'll be back 5
Do
a.m.
you have it? Like, do you feel like you're in a flow that you'd have to work hard to break? Like, do you get up in the morning and it's not a problem to get up? You're ready to rock. You're going to CrossFit. No questions asked.
Yes.
5 days a week.
Yes.
I like it.
Yep.
He's been trying to find some pros for a bro session at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I wish, man. That's the only complaint I have is I wish there was more people.
Yeah.
Really.
Cool.
Just the energy, you know.
Yeah. All right. Lift Heavy Run Long number 206 with all of our shitty audio. I don't know what to do about this Facebook thing. I really don't. It bothers the hell out of me.
It's shitty audio. It's Amanda showing up late. It's
You showing up at all.
It's me showing up at all. But it's also like our misinformation, bullshit that
Can't
we
get our
try and
facts
spew.
straight.
Can't get our facts straight.
So it's just karma? Is that what
It's
it is?
always something. It's always something. I don't even know why we do it.
Because we have fun sitting here talking, regardless of whether anybody's
That
listening.
CrossFit lady. Sending bugs our way.
Killed some people.
206 is in the books.
Bye.